Bola Ahmed Tinubu reportedly decries new Electoral Act, says it impacts democracy. Let's translate. What he's saying is there are so many sections of that it may be in violation of that could potentially, you know, call for his disqualification or penalties because I read through that act and I know for sure. You go read it for yourself. But the translation of what he's saying is that act is not in my favor. Let's continue. Bola Tinubu, the presidential candidate of APC, has reportedly blamed the newly signed Electoral Act as the reason for APC's loss in the Osun State governorship election. In a lengthy statement making rounds on social media, he reportedly noted that the new Electoral Act has a disadvantage, which is that it undermines Nigeria's democracy. As an elder statesman in this country, at times we sit and analyze some critical decisions which is affecting our democracy and the people's ways to tackle such decisions for it not to destroy democracy. We are all aware of the new Electoral Act reform signed by Mr. President that the results of elections in Nigeria be electronically transmitted to the INEC server. At times, bringing up leadership ideas is good, but it should be weighed thoroughly if it will have any negative consequences in our present day society. Translation: it should be weighed thoroughly if it will have any negative consequences for me and my party. We all witnessed what happened in Osun State, where someone who was not supposed to win an election automatically became the winner of the new Electoral Act. It should be better we go back to our previous way of conducting an election in Nigeria, where elections are conducted free and fair with the presence of party agents. After election, the results will be sorted out one after the other to know if there are issues of voting or manipulations, but this new reform does not provide such opportunity, which means that the electorates are voting, results are going directly to the INEC server immediately. As it should, because what is the point of counting votes? Let's not even discuss. What has advantages also has disadvantages. The earlier we rise up against this new reform before it destroys our democracy, the better for all of us, because since this new act came on board, it has already started affecting our hard-earned democracy. Hard-earned democracy? You fought for democracy, please. Already with that happened in Osun State, well-meaning Nigerians will surely rise against such reform before it destroys our democracy. For the amount of times this man has stated democracy in his speech, you genuinely think that this is something that Nigerians have worked to build, and this democracy is such pride and identity of Nigerians. Excuse me, what are you talking about? Democracy, did you create it? Alacrity says, demo crazy, demonstration of Chris. Listen, you are not the one to start talking to Nigerians about democracy, because we can't take anything this man is saying very seriously. Why? Because there's a lot of pressure. Everyone literally undermines your decision making because everyone thinks you've made a very bad decision, to the extent that you, being the leader of your party, your members are leaving. They are using technicalities to adjust if they are members or not, by saying, Favour additional literally came out and said, I'm not a card carrying member. So what kind of member are you? Are there different levels to your membership? You have other members resigning, disassociating, and you have gone to the extent of hiring fake bishops. Even Portugal has become your brand ambassador, and then you also have your running mate trying to perform tokenism by bringing a random Igbo man to prove that he likes Southerners. Again, you are going through desperate measures, and it is not your fault. The fact is, a lot of people don't seem to be on your side. When it comes to voters and the civilians, maybe fine, but then within your own party. And then it's funny because your party was the one mentioning the argument of structure when it came to the other parties, and now who can actually talk about their party's structure? Yes, that is the real argument here. Very, very sad, but it is unlikely that we take what Tinubu takes with seriousness, because it's safe to say that the pressure is getting to the man. It is what it is. But this our democracy. Listen, if Nigerians don't, Nigerians, I don't think, in my personal opinion, have this general uniting. If we can unite on the fact that we want a democracy and we practice democracy, all these problems will not happen right now. It really wouldn't. If we made democracy a part of our culture, a part of our thinking, a part of our little deeds, it's so like democracy is so ingrained in our culture, then fine, it would make sense because the way people really talk about democracy, our democracy, like it's a collective thing whereby, democracy is so ingrained in our culture, ingrained in our thinking. Yeah. I I mean again, everything on paper, every ideology on paper looks good, sounds nice. Practicality in terms of application, that's where it goes left. But I find it very disrespectful to talk about democracy. You talk about democracy. Yes, please let's be humble. Um, your reasons are not convincing. Were you not on ground when it went through parliamentary process? You're condemning it because it did not favor you. Baba, better shut up. Are you afraid? The era of Agbero's hijacking and stealing ballot boxes are over. I mean, it's like he's trying to fire up. I mean, if you read the statement, he's trying to fire up and give the impression that, you know what, Nigerians should stand up against this. Let's go back to what was old. Why should votes not go directly to the server? I mean, again, if we're talking possibility of results being manipulated, not that it's not possible, but it's definitely going to be harder. No one will just have access to files like that if INEC properly secures data. But it definitely is more secure than having ballot boxes and having them stolen, as this person has mentioned, and counting votes there. I mean, it's giving local. And I mean, this just shows this man's plan. It shows that this man is not willing to be progressive. It shows that anytime there's progression and there are new ideas, because it's not favorable at the moment, he wants to go back. It's very sad because is this the person that you want for Nigeria's progression? Because it seems to be very upset when things don't work his way. It's not about you, it's about what the people want. And for you to manipulate your worries and make it as if it's the people's worries because you're trying to use the guise of democracy, that says a lot about his character. And as such, I don't think Nigerians should really make him a favorable candidate. If you choose to vote him, your choice. It is what it is. But this shows his character right now. The pressure is getting through. He is not progressive, very backwards. He wants to go back to the old ways, and that is something you don't want. Put what you think in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and subscribe.